Okay, so we got Rodney Dangerfield.
Who's that?
Apparently he used to act.
Hey, what's going on there, guys? How are you?
Rodney Dangerfield, is he even alive?
Hey, what do you think about Tiger pulling out next week's tournament?
Hey, I think Tiger maybe should have pulled out of the girl from the Waffle House.
What?
Are we allowed to show that?
We talked about what he records on his DVR.
Yeah, probably the Real Housewives of Milford. Nothing but skin flicks. Game of Thrones, and I don't like to sit on one right now.
Oh, that makes sense. I mean, are any of his answers going to be surprising?
Did you guys talk to him about anything important at all?
He had a couple comments on Jeter's legacy.
Should I look at this clip before we show it?
That Jeter guy, oh man, that guy's seen more ass than the crappers of Yankee Stadium. All right.
They are totally going to cancel us this time.
Where am I heading? I'm heading over to my place to watch the box score. It starts right now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer. My motto is simple: C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Collins for box score.
Welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock here in Los Angeles. The Danettes are joining us from Milford, Connecticut. Today's show features some pretty big names. We had Jim Parsons, Jim Nance, Steve Wojciechowski, and DeSean Jackson, or so we thought. Paulie, take us through the saga from when it started.
All right, I'll try to keep it tight, but it's actually a longer story. One of our staff members here knows a family member of DeSean Jackson's. Talked to him about getting DeSean on the show. DeSean wanted to come on our show, was going to do so yesterday over the phone. Now, in the meantime, Fritz had been going through other channels to get DeSean, like his management people and the Redskins, both who said, not right now. Now, when the principal says, I want to come on the show, we don't say, no, 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 your people said you can't come on. He wanted to call into the show. We were contacted by him and his people. It was booked at 7:30 a.m. this morning. It was good to go for 11:30 a.m. And then, shockingly, at 10:40 a.m. Eastern, it was yanked.
Now, are you talking to the agencies or management, or who are you talking to?
One of his representatives contacted Todd and said, I heard DeSean's going to be on your show, and they had a problem with the channels we went through to get him. I think they were under the impression that we backdoored them and called DeSean after we were told no, which was not the case. We actually were contacted by DeSean and his family member to come on the show in advance.
Yeah, everything was ready to go, and then, as Paulie mentioned, less than an hour before his scheduled appearance, we get kind of a terse note from their representation, and the Redskins PR department was CC'd on the note saying, you know, it's not going to happen. You know better than that. You're supposed to go through the right channels and go through us. I don't know how you set this up, but it's not going to happen. Maybe we'll look at it in the future, and that's kind of where things went.
And Paulie called it pretty early. He knew that this one was coming because DeSean is certainly hot right now, and there's a lot to talk to him about. Some really interesting things. And so Paulie saw this one coming a mile away, and it's interesting. It may have made for better content with DeSean not coming on and having sort of all of this drama with his agents and representatives play out live on the air. I mean, I haven't seen Dan that heated in a long time. He was pretty upset.
Yeah, and Brock, it's a weird thing. Timing is everything in what we do. And someone asked me on the Twitter, well, if you knew that it's possible that DeSean's people would pull him or the Redskins would pull him, which the Redskins did not, by the way, why did you promote it? And that's a tough thing, because I guess we could have said, hey, we'll wait until 3 minutes before the interview and then promote it. But, I mean, that's not what we do here. We booked an interview straight, we promote it for 2 or 3 hours, and we put him on. We did it through the proper way and promoted the proper way. Yeah, was the downside of him being pulled off the show? As a producer, it's a no loss for me. I mean, it was great.
So if I gave you a mulligan, you wouldn't do the last minute?
No, because you could say, I know that he would have been pulled off. I didn't know for a fact that he would have been pulled off our show when we all decided to promote it. No one even brought up not promoting him. And then we've held back a little bit on promoting people before, but not like an hour and a half before, like 2 days before, yeah.
I think it's funny. I think it ended up being, in a way, more entertaining to the listeners to have us react to this. But from a news-breaking standpoint, since DeSean hasn't really said anything out loud, we probably would have broken news. I'm a little disappointed about that.
McLovin's completely right, and I completely agree with McLovin. I would have much rather had his people not contact us and him had done a straight interview with Dan, and it would have been good. It would have been good radio, good TV, and I bet Dan would have gotten a lot out of him that others haven't.
But the viewers and listeners getting a real good dose of what happens behind the scenes sometimes with interviews and how things are set up. Wasn't a terrible plan B. As much as it would have been great to hear from DeSean, and maybe we will in the not too distant future. That was pretty interesting, I'm sure, for the average fan that doesn't know how things
Was it the right move, though? putting all of that out for public consumption, and I don't want to say burning bridges, but certainly bringing the match to it at least.
I think it would have been disingenuous at this point with our type of show to not do that. I mean, maybe years ago we could have decided we're not going to show how the sausage is made, but Fritzy got an email that was not polite. It was very terse and accusatory. Without asking what happened, it was more accusatory that Fritzy did something wrong, which, knowing Todd, he's rarely going to do something wrong on purpose, and never on purpose. And so Dan had his back. Todd gave him the information. It's not Todd's job to hide the information from Dan. At some point, you got to tell Dan what's going on.
Also, I think Dan, one of the things that's great about this show is Dan's genuineness. Like, he's not afraid to be himself. I think people really respond to that. If he had tried and repress that anger, that's not who he is. So I agree. I think like that's one of the things that makes the show special.
Well, he was genuine, and there was no doubt that when the plug was pulled on the interview, DP was not happy, and he made it known while making sure he defended you guys.
Why don't you contact DeSean and ask him how this came about instead of accusing us of being unprofessional? And why are you blocking his wishes to come on the show? There's a reason why he wants to come on the show. What are you afraid of with your client coming on? And never, ever, ever accuse Fritzy of being unprofessional. Never. That is wrong.
I appreciated what Dan said there, and I know he's always got our backs and always knows we're trying to do the right thing on behalf of him and the show and the various networks and stations that carry the show. So that meant a lot to me. I was still upset for a while, and I still haven't gotten completely past it, shockingly. But knowing Dan's got my back and the rest of the Danettes' back, and to share that on national radio and TV was definitely made me feel a lot better with what was going on.
Yeah, and Brock, I went in the box a couple minutes after that, and I basically echo what Dan said because, look, nobody gets on Fritzy's case, including Dan, more than me in this room. And for different reasons, I've always ridden Fritzy. But it's like a brother. If someone makes up a lie or makes up falsehoods about someone you care about, I would never stand for that. And you know what? If we don't get a guest on from a certain company for the end of time, fantastic. You know what? We're going to be okay. You guys will be the ones who run through clients and get out of this business. We'll still be here.
Okay. Let's take a break because Fritzy's frowning and I need him to relax and get back in a better mood. Time to sit back and relax, guys. Coming up, we'll see which guest actually made it on air, and will Seton be knocking boots? What? Stay tuned. The Box Score presents Great Moments in DP Show History.
It's been running this week a lot.
Oh my God.
Heads up.
Uh-oh.
Thanks for watching Great Moments in DP Show History.
Clean up aisle 4. All right, welcome back to the Box Score. Let's get to a couple of guests who actually did make their way onto the show. The silky smooth Jim Nantz joined us. Paulie, does he have one or two of the sweetest gigs in sports?
Yeah, he does. I mean, Jim Nantz is, NFL, college basketball, and the Masters. I mean, there's guys like Dan at his peak, has had many different jobs, but at the same time, Dan with Football Night in America and this, and then you look at a guy like Chris Fowler, Jim Nantz. Gig. Fowler's got it as good as anybody else, Australian Open. But yeah, I got to work with Nantz for a few years, and he's so nice, it's kind of surreal.
Well, it was pretty apparent that after Nantz joined the show, that DP had fallen under the spell of the smooth talker.
Whenever I hear the music of the opening of the Masters on CBS, my voice immediately goes down. It just does. I have no control over this right now. Hello, friends, and welcome. These birds aren't real, but I am. No tiger, but a lot of birdies. A hawk in the background. It just picked up David Faraday. Good God, put him down! Hello, friends. We'll take a break, and we'll come back with possible poll questions.
Man, I could seriously do a full hour straight of narrating a story by giving Dan clues through our sound effects and then having him follow them and just see where stuff goes, because before long there's a cow in there and horse hooves and whatever random thing. Paulie's throwing in a rooster up in there. It was, it's sort of a tag team combo effort, and it is a ton of fun.
It's one of my favorite weeks of the year, the Masters Week. Beyond just the sport itself, the way we cover it, which we don't cover the event almost at all, but we do cover Jim Nance's voice and have people imitate him.
Well, the Masters is coming up, so we're planning on holding a long drive contest on the show sometime next week to kick it off. Anyone feel like talking a little smack, maybe? Fritzy, you could probably sit this one out.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of smack talk on what goes on behind us on the simulator. If maybe I can throw it, I know I could probably throw it unfortunately further than I can hit it, but these guys got me beat badly.
I think I could win the longest driver contest because I'm the tallest, so I need the longest driver.
I see what you did.
The only way I have a shot is if it's the longest drive in bounds contest. Then I have a shot because if Seton goes out of his shoes, he could spray it. He'll put it 310, but I don't know which direction. So that's the only way I have a shot because he could outdrive me by 100 yards easy.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate analysis.
We'll guard Nick and all the cameramen off to the side when you're teeing off too, Paulie. All right, newest Marquette head coach Steve Wojciechowski also on the show. Paulie, did he learn about DP's sense of humor through Coach K, or has he been on a few times before?
A little both. You know, I'm sure he's listened to the show and heard the show before and watched the show before. But we had him on a couple years ago just to mix it up, and Dan had a great time with him. He's always referenced Wojo, and it's almost like they've got this running relationship even though they've probably never met each other. So he was really good sport on the show.
Well, there's no doubt that DP and Wojo had a little chemistry working today.
Woj, you want me as a shooting coach, first of all. And then if you want me as an associate head coach, I'd do that. But let's start with what I do well. I'd be a shooting coach.
That's good. Well, I could use that. I could definitely use that.
Oh, I know
we
that.
can combine outstanding defense with really good shooting. We'll both be in good shape.
Would you slap the floor just for old time's sakes? The office floor as we say goodbye?
For you, anything.
All right, I like this. Here we go.
I just broke my desk.
That's so good. I mean, we've talked about this before. Sometimes you root for people on the show to be successful in their sport just so they can keep coming on again as a relevant interview. I hope Marquette makes the next 10 Final Fours so we can keep having this guy on. I don't care about Marquette basketball really either way otherwise.
All right, if Dan is the show's Coach K, which one of you is the show's Wojo? Seton, is it you?
No, I don't think so. I think it'd be Paulie. He's probably Dan's sort of second guy, or not understudy. That's the wrong word, but I would say Paulie is.
Also,
maybe I don't know if the 5-year thing works, but I would say Paulie.
Paulie kind of looks like Woj a little bit, you know. Actually, I'd be the Johnny Dawkins. Maybe Johnny Dawkins kind of has a big nose. I don't know.
But he likes to have the right. There's always got to be one right-hand man that's he's really comfortable with, and whether it's times of crisis or whatever the situation might be. And if we had to pick one of the four of us, especially and Paulie's constantly in Dan's ear, and he has that comfort of knowing he's constantly getting information.
And just like Woj, I'm going to suddenly leave for a mid-level job in the Midwest someday. But wait, I want to go Seton on this one because Woj is kind of an energy guy, kind of intensity guy. And Seton's got that kind of intensity during the show that really helps out a lot.
But Shire's on the bench too, and I think we all know who Shire is.
Capel? I think it might be dangerous if Fritzy slaps the floor, or if he gets the lotion on there, we might need to wipe it off. Someone might slip. Okay, I think we need a little audition.
We'll have to clean up a little.
To get to the bottom of this. Let's all try slap on the floor. Front row, lead us off, please.
Oh, man. All right, I'll go first. Get this over with.
Oh, boy.
All right. Oh, man.
That's a good one.
That is fantastic.
All right.
I don't
so
think
I'm going to say that we just had a pretty serious play.
Woo! Yeah, baby! Yeah, let's go! Gee up, baby! Yeah!
Go ahead.
No one wants to face you. All right.
Oh, man.
McLovin, the man who could bench 200 pounds.
You want some?
Of this?
Of this?
This is a pre-surgery move.
It's like a threatening guy at a oh, here we go.
I'm going to do a multiple one.
Like a male cheerleader.
Yeah, by the way, that's really going to be effective for a guy with the ball in his hand. Spend 6 minutes.
Okay. Coming up, how much is a lunchbox worth to Paulie? and leave it to Jim Parsons to bring some comic relief to the show. Stick around. Welcome back to the Box Score. Derek Jeter all over the news this week. In the morning meeting, you guys showed a Jeter video, and he was getting some sweet boots from the Astros to begin his farewell tour. Seton, how much would you pay for these, and would you wear them?
Well, first of all, they're priceless, clearly.
What if Jeets had worn them the day before?
Oh, my gosh. First of all, I'd want to smell them. But they're sort of, I liken them to the mullet version of boots because they're sort of business on the bottom and party up top. You could get away with those being work shoes. Nobody would have any idea that they're actually some super rock star cowboy boots with pinstripes. So, yeah, those are rad.
All right, well, guys, we found some other sweet memorabilia we think here in the Box Score would interest you, so it's time to channel your inner Bob Barker and see if it's
worth or worthless.
We'll show you an item that sold during an online auction, and you try to guess what it sold to, let's say within $20. Got it? Good. All right. Our first item is for Seton. As we mentioned, the captain is making his farewell tour, but we flash back to 1993 to this Upper Deck SP Jeter rookie card. The important thing here is that it's been appraised as 9 out of 10 in overall quality. Is it worth or worthless? Seton, your guess.
Oh my gosh, it's super worth. I don't know, $150,000.
Just slightly off. The correct answer was $325. Our next item.
$1,000.
Our next item is for Fritzy. Somebody get some cold water. Worth or worthless, Fritzy?
Look at that.
An autographed 8x10 of Victoria's Secret supermodel Adriana Lima. Before you answer, Fritzy, don't you own one of these already? And is it wrapped in 4 layers of plastic?
Wow, that's got to be $643, but I would pay a hell of a lot more than that.
You swore. Soiled.
I'm sorry, the answer is
Look at that.
$81. Back to the front
$81?
row. $81.
That's an insult.
Absolutely. Back to the front row, and Paulie. It's a 1975 vintage lunchbox of soccer legend Ben Vereen. No, it's Pele, I'm sorry. You can carry this box, and you can carry some sandwiches and demolish them at your desk in record time. Paulie, is this worth or worthless? Guess the price, please.
I think it's going to be really expensive. Pele is kind of a hero to many. I'm going to go $300. I think lunchboxes are pretty cool.
Overshot it by just a touch. $57 is the correct answer.
I'm buying it.
That's it?
I'm buying it.
Finally, McLovin, your turn. We're traveling back in time in Ivy League history. It's a vintage Cornell homecoming program when they took on Dartmouth in 1978. What's your guess?
Wow, this is a big year. This is when Ed Marinara was running back for Cornell, and Mike Shula was a wide receiver for Dartmouth Big Green, and Buddy Tevens, eventual Stanford coach, was a quarterback. So I think this is worth a lot more than you would think, $3.99.
You are absolutely incorrect. The correct answer is $15. Who was our winner? I don't even know.
No.
No one. Okay, super.
None of us.
None.
All right, well, no one wins then. That's typical here. All right, coming up, it's time to kick everyone out. My parents are home. It's last call here on the Box Score. We'll be right back. Heading to the bar.
Hi, I'm Jim Parsons. My favorite Danette is Fritzy because of mock headlines, and that's literally the only reason. You're watching the Box Score on Audience DirecTV, channel 239.
Welcome back to the Box Score. I think I've had too many hibernates. Last call here at the Box Score bar. Let's put a bow on the DeSean Jackson situation, shall we? No doubt it created a little tension on the show. Fritzy, is this something that you will take home with you?
I hope not. I've gotten a little better, and I'm going to underline a little better at dealing with these things. Not everything is going to work perfectly well and right, and best laid plans of mice and men and all that. Things change, and you know we did the best we can under the circumstances. I think you know we're okay as far as with the PR person and agents and all that. If they're going to give us a hard time, where there's going to be a problem going forward, whatever the situation may be, we got to put it past us. We got a show to work on for tomorrow, and again, these guys have always tried to help me put it behind me and just focus on the next day's show.
All right, well, Jim Parsons of The Big Bang Theory complimented Fritzy on his job and definitely lightened up the mood in the man cave.
You know, Fritzy has my email, he has my home number, he has my cell number, and he has professionally never used it for anything inappropriate. Not yet.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, that may be lack of interest on his part, but he's not used it for anything lurid yet.
If there was something that he could use you for with Kelly Cuoco, then I think, or then I know that he would do that. Kaylee
Maybe
Cuoco.
that's true. Maybe that's true. No, it's an odd claim.
You know, Fritzy, it's interesting that Jim sort of defended Fritzy there and said he hasn't done anything out of line with that number. Because I seem to recall Todd getting in trouble not too long ago, texting someone sort of off hours that he shouldn't have.
Ooh,
perhaps a NFL network, a very popular and beautiful NFL network host, where Fritz was sort of maybe a little out of bounds. Does anybody recall that?
I think he's referring to the lovely Melissa Stark. And,
you could just said Melissa Stark. You know, you could have said Melissa Stark.
Yeah, I think I sent one too many notes thanking her for joining us in our New York City man cave, and it was probably A, the wrong hour of night to be sending it, and B, I may have put some exclamation points, and I don't think there was any XOs or weird.
Something about, hey, I was just laying in bed thinking of how great the segment was today.
Yeah,
thanks for coming on.
It didn't come across the way I quite wanted it to be, but she may have thought it was a thank you / hitting on her. I don't know.
Brock, if I were popular CBS actress Kelly Cuoco, I would change my number now in advance.
Yeah, no, he didn't need to get a message at 3 o'clock in the morning.
It's industry.
Once again, it's really cool of you to.
But it's industry standard to let the person know if you're wearing pants during said text. I mean, you just don't, you don't text someone without pants without mentioning it.
That's a good point. I should have divulged, my attire, which was very inappropriate when I sent
Sitting
that.
here in these Bronco sweats and feeling good about myself in the show today.
It was wrong. It was unprofessional. I was supposed to be professional. I was unprofessional on that.
Mr. Gray says hello, LOL. Smiley face emoticon. Fritzy, who's on tomorrow? DeSean Jackson by any chance?
No, we may hear from Seth Davis or Kenny Smith to get us ready for the Final Four, but as Paulie will jump in any second and say, what do we have for tomorrow right now?
Nobody.
So
wide open.
I can't worry about DeSean Jackson right now. We have no guest for Friday. That's going to take precedence over DeSean.
All right. Well, thanks for watching The Box Score. Tune in weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern only on Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Yum, 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 yum.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer. My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching The Box Score. Holy cow!